Hello everyone, it's Theme Park Avenue. I'm Eric with a brand new theme park battle. Today we have another Cedar Fair Six Flags matchup, Canada's Wonderland versus Six Flags over Georgia. Ought to be a close match. Before we begin, I'd like to ask you to subscribe to the channel. We reached 400 by the end of March, thank you so much for that. I'm hoping we can somehow get to 500 by the end of April. That would be amazing. And one more thing to ask, is that I'm not sure what kind of content you guys want to see most. Should I focus more on these park battles, reviews of theme parks, ranking videos, or some memes like the Airtime Thrills YTP I made a few days ago? Let me know in the poll below or in the comments. Let's begin the matchups. First off, we have the inverts. We have Batman the Ride over Georgia and Flight Deck at Canada's Wonderland. This is a very easy win for over Georgia because I don't like the Vekoma SLCs, and Batman the Ride's a pretty good B&M inverts. Next up, we have two looping coasters. And similar to the last one is an excellent Schwarzkopf, the other is a not so great Aero Looper, so over Georgia gets another point. Now we have the Hypercoasters, and this one is actually very close. I like both B&M Hypers a lot. I think Behemoth is a better drop and is more intense, but Goliath's layout, pacing, and airtime are better overall, so I will give over Georgia another point. Next up we have Flying Coasters, and like the first two, Superman Ultimate Flight's a very good, underrated B&M flying coaster, and Time Warp's an awful Zan Perla Valar, so Superman Ultimate Flight wins. Next up is the Mine Trains, and this one is pretty close. Dahlonega is better themed, and does have a good final drop, however, I think Thunder Run is a lot more intense, and technically, I think theming is pretty much tied on these, with just a little bit of an edge to Thunder Run, but overall, I'm going to give Thunder Run the point because I think it is the stronger coaster. Next up is the Kiddie Coasters. Taxi Jam's not really anything great. Joker Funhouse Coaster is great theming and is actually a pretty, honestly, excellent kiddie coaster for what it is. So it gets the half point. Now for two very different roller coasters that have steep drops, Yukon Striker and Daredevil Dive. While I like Daredevil Dive a lot, think it's an intense, very good Eurofighter. I like B&M dive coasters a lot better in general. And Yukon Striker actually has some really excellent elements, particularly the inversions. The first drop is great, and I think it's the better coaster overall. Next up we have Vekoma Loopers, and I honestly like the Bat a lot. I know a lot of people really hate that ride, but even so, Blue Hawk is better. It's fairly smooth, and actually has a really strong layout, so I will give Blue Hawk the points. Next up is Wooden Coasters, Mighty Canadian Minebuster, a ride many hate. I think it's perfectly smooth, offers some decent airtime, and actually has a really solid layout. Great American Scream Machine, however, is the worst wooden coaster I've ever been on. It is unbelievably rough, so easily Canada's Wonderland earns this points. And the final coaster matchup is two of the best coasters in the park, Leviathan and Twisted Cyclone. Twisted Cyclone seems to be the weakest, or one of the weakest RMCs. Leviathan, it's a really, really strong Giga Coaster. It's pretty underrated. Both are fairly short. I think Twisted Cyclone has stronger elements overall. Leviathan has some great floater airtime. I love both a lot, but I really can't determine a winner here. I'm going to say this one is a tie. And now let's discuss the extra coasters. Over Georgia has Georgia Scorcher. It earns a point for having that. Canada's Wonderland, however, has 6 extra roller coasters that were not matched up. So that means Canada's Wonderland now has a pretty big lead, thanks to the fact that they have a lot of roller coasters. Now for the Drop Towers. Drop Tower is better than Acrophobia in my opinion. Some like Acrophobia, I just really don't like the seating and the way it works. Some think it's a really cool style, but I thought it was kind of painful. Not my favorite Drop Tower. Neither's great, but I think Drop Tower at Canada's Wonderland deserves the points. Moving on, we have Flat Rides, and over Georgia gets 2 points for 2 flat rides, while Canada's Wonderland gets 5 points. Canada's Wonderland has many flat rides, and now yes, it is winning by quite a bit, but maybe over Georgia can still come back. Because next we have Dark Rides, Wonder Mountain's Guardian and Justice League Battle for Metropolis. A tough call, I think both are great. Some don't really like Wonder Mountain's Guardian. I think the roller coaster elements work really well. The drop track's fantastic. The fact that it's screen-based doesn't really hurt the ride all that much. And I do like the large mountain outside. That said, some of the practical effects on Justice League are really, really good. so I will be giving Justice League the point here. Now we have more dark rides, Boo Blasters on Boo Hill and Monster Mansion. An easy point for Monster Mansion. Boo Blasters is a fairly cheap dark ride, and while Monster Mansion is certainly not high budget, it looks very nice and is very charming and very fun. Next up we have water rides. Nothing special here, each park has a log flume type ride and a river rapids ride, so they both get 2 points for those. And now for which park has more rides. Canada's Wonderland has 10 more rides that are not roller coaster based than Over Georgia, so it will be earning another points. Now we have shows. Not really a category where either really stands out, but I will give the edge to Over Georgia. I don't think Canada's Wonderland has really excellent shows, and neither is really that great, but from what I've seen, a bit of an edge to Over Georgia. And now for food. Food is an interesting one, as I like some Canada's Wonderland food a lot, but it's mostly the chain places, while some of the food that's not coming from chains at Over Georgia is a lot better. So I will be giving Over Georgia another edge for food. Now park appearance, another tough one, as both actually have some pretty strong elements, but while Canada's Wonderland is the beautiful mountain, overall, Over Georgia does have a more consistent theme going on, and it's a bit more seamless when you go from area to area. The DC area is really, really great, and I think it's a slightly better landscape park. Both look nice, but I think overall I'll give Over Georgia this point. Now for the layout. Tough. Both have good layouts. However, when you look at them and how you get around the park, I think Over Georgia feels a bit more spacious in a good way, and it's a bit less sectioned off, so you can kind of go from place to place a bit easier without having to backtrack as much. So I think getting around Over Georgia is much easier. Now for the operating season, this one's pretty straightforward. Over Georgia is open longer in the year, given that it's not too far from Florida, which has many year-round parks, and Canada's Wonderland definitely closes for a fairly long period of time at times. Now for the prices. Looking at these are not technically the most reliable source, it's hard to find because of COVID, but Over Georgia has a bit of a cheaper day ticket, so it does get this point. And now for the final category, winner takes all. Operations. And this has to go to Canada's Wonderland. Over Georgia is pretty inconsistent, can do a pretty bad job loading, often has mechanical issues, and it's not very fast. Canada's Wonderland is not spectacular, but it's definitely better. So that means Canada's Wonderland wins this point, and wins by half a point overall. Congratulations, Canada's Wonderland, you are the winner of this park battle. I love both parks. I do think I like Canada's Wonderland more. I hope no one is upset that Over Georgia lost, but it was very close, and both parks are fantastic. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed. Remember to subscribe to help support the channel, and to go to the poll below to see what kind of video you want me to make more often. Whether it's reviews, park battles, rankings, or some more joke videos. I'll see you next time.